Thank you for tuning in to the all-new season of Stories Philippines podcast.
Good evening, dear listeners. It's Paul here from Stories Philippines podcast, and tonight I'll be sharing a tale that's sure to chill you to the core. Let's call this spine-tingling encounter the Eerie Visitor in the Attic of Bulacan. In 2017, a trip to my sister's house turned into a night I'll never forget. I was in 8th grade at the time and lived a bit far from her place, which sat on the edge of rural Bulacan. The house always had a chilly feel, so as soon as I arrived, I cranked up the heater and asked my nieces if they were hungry. They nodded eagerly, so I ordered some pizza from the nearest joint. To pass the time until the pizza arrived, we decided to play hide and seek in the attic. Weirdly enough, as soon as I climbed up there, I was hit with an odd sensation, like someone or something was watching me with keen eyes. I tried to shake it off, not wanting to spoil the fun for my nieces. Once we had gobbled up our delicious pizza, it was time to tuck the younger one into bed. She was just 6 and needed her sleep. Her bedroom was right next door to the bathroom, which is important for later. The older niece and I spent the next hour chatting about school, and just as the conversation lulled, she wanted to take a selfie in the mirror by the bathroom. Playfully, I snapped a photo of her posing. But when I glanced at my screen, my heart practically stopped. There, peering back in the photo, was the figure of a creature that seemed more goat than human. It had these pale, milky eyes, the kind of beard you'd find on a goat, and even horns. And though it wasn't tall, I got the sense that it was crouching or kneeling. My niece could tell something was up, and even before I could hide it, she asked, "Did you see that thing in the mirror?" She'd seen it too. I showed her the photo, and her jaw hit the floor. She confessed that her mom, my sister, never believed her stories about a man prowling the house at night. Now we had proof. She described how this visitor lurked in her closet during the day, making breathing sounds like Darth Vader, and how every morning at precisely 2:39 a.m., the sound of hooves would clatter across the tile floor. She even spoke of a shadowy figure that stood at the top of the stairs. From that night on, I vowed to visit only during daylight hours, never alone, and always wary. That experience opened my eyes to the existence of more than just humans, plants, and animals in our world. There were others among us. So listeners, what can we learn from the eerie visitor in the attic of Bulacan? Our world is a mysterious place where things we cannot always understand or explain might just brush against the edges of our reality. Remember to keep an open mind, and perhaps a camera at hand. You never know when you might need to capture evidence of the unbelievable. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Stories Philippines podcast. I'm your host, Paul, bidding you good night. And remember, when the attic feels like it has eyes, it might be time to play your games under the safe glow of the sun. Stay safe and keep the light on.